We now come to the final session of our webinar, The Science Behind the Art of Presentation. With everything being on a virtual platform today, I'm almost certain that this is a topic beneficial for all. The era of digital education is not far behind, and the skill of being a good presenter acts as the need of the hour. This topic will be briefed to us by our very own in-house resource person, Dr. Prashant S. He is a mentor who has a bag full of achievements and a shoulder full of medals to his name. He has earned his laurels from years of hard work. Dr. Prashant, Dr. Prashant Sadashivamurthy has over 13 years of experience in teaching undergraduate and postgraduate students in the Department of Pedodontics in JSS Dental College, Mysore. With second rank in BDS and third rank in the MDS, he has also conferred the 10th rank in MS Psychology from Karnataka State Open University and has completed PhD in dentistry. Representing JSS Academy, he has delivered international guest lectures in Thailand, China, and Belgium. With an array of presentations at various national and international conferences, he has won over 8 Best Scientific Presentation Awards. Dr. Prashant has also conferred with a grant of $1,000 from Dentsply International for his presentation on novel technique of indirect composite restoration and extended scope in pediatric dentistry. He has 6 chapter contributions in pediatric dentistry textbook. He's currently serving the position of an Assistant Director of Academics at JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Mysore. It goes without saying that Dr. Prashant is an overall achiever, and we are honored to have you guide us, sir. I welcome you.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
We welcome you, sir. So I will now be introducing your reflection panelists for the day. The reflection panelist for this topic will be Dr. Sri Shaila S. She's an academician, a passionate teacher, and a zealous oral pathologist. She's associated with JSS Dental College and Hospital. She completed her BDS from Dayanand Sagar College of Dental Science, Bangalore in the year 2000, and her MDS from Coog Institute of Dental Science, Virajpet in the year 2010. She's currently pursuing her PhD from JSS Academy. She has 42 national and international publications. She has also been awarded the Best Scientific Presentation Award. Her areas of interest include oral cancer, molecular biology, and forensic odontology. I welcome you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Prashant to take us through the science behind the art of presentations.
Thank you, Dr. Dipasha. That was indeed a very nice introduction. Now we have met our timelines and slightly run a little bit ahead of our timeline. So I directly go to the presentation. And I welcome all the participants to today's program. And well, thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my interest and passion with you. And in this platform, I would also like to thank our the pranams to the lotus feet of His Holiness Swamiji. His efforts in today's day of pandemic is immense, and because of his blessings, all of us are doing well. My thanks and gratitude to the leadership, our Pro-Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, our Director Academics, and all the officers of JSS University, Dental College, and the team of this Professional Excellence series. You have been doing excellent. Now, I welcome you all for this presentation. This presentation is going to be slightly different. I'm actually inside the presentation. So you will be seeing me as a camera feed, and every panelist who is there, I would request them to mute their microphones, because if you do not mute your microphones with a background noise, my video will be flipped with yours. So thank you so much for coordinating. And I'll take a small feedback from Dr. Dipasha. I hope I'm heard and seen properly. This is the most common question nowadays.
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And let us start our presentation. Yes. Welcome to the end of the presentation. Fascinated? Intrigued? Are you having a question mark? How can a presentation start with the end? You should know what is the end and what is meeting its end in this slide. the practice of traditional PowerPoint presentation has to meet its end. That is the mark of this slide. And we are with this slide marking the habit of putting full stop to traditional PowerPoint presentations. If you are thinking that I'm going to talk about, you have to put not more than 6 points in a slide, you have to have a font size of 12 and above, 16 is preferred, you have to have an Arial font which is uniform in size, you have to give good spacing between the lines in the PowerPoint presentation, you have to have good pictures at one point, good highlighted words, keywords in other point. No, that is all history. That is Stone Age. Today, when we are moving towards a burst of technology in online education, presentation takes a different angle. And like a diamond, it has got multifacets. Why does a diamond shine? Because it has got various faces and various facets. Similarly, if the diamond of your presentation has to shine, you have to understand the science, the systematic being behind the art of presentation. So let's end the era of traditional PowerPoint presentation and go to the new era, wherein we are going to start with a question. What is the question? The question is very simple. The question is, how many online sessions do we require to teach somebody swimming? Say our participants are there all around. We have got around 151 participants. Good. So how many online sessions do we need to teach this skill of swimming? Come on, put your mentions in the chat box. Don't put it in the question and answers. That is for the next thing, which is going to be interactive between us. Let us see, how many do you think? 10? Are 10 sessions sufficient to teach somebody swimming? 10 online sessions? 10 theoretical face-to-face sessions? Let us see what we are getting in the chat box. Thank you. Somebody spoke the words what I had to speak, and the person has said that there is 0 number of sessions that needs to be required to be taught swimming. Why? Because swimming is a yes, all of you are mentioning it very correctly. It is a practical skill. It is a life-saving skill. It is a practice which we have to learn by doing. So we will not learn swimming if we sit in front of the online sessions, and we will not learn swimming if we attend hundreds of theoretical classes. We have to leap into the water, and we have to jump into the waters, preferably shallow waters. We can see it is shallow water, preferably with a mentor with us, and with that we will be able to learn swimming. So no matter how many hours of sessions you take, you are not going to be able to teach the person swimming. Then take a leap. But just by taking a leap, are we going to make sure that we become experts? Definitely and obviously not. Just by taking a leap and learning in shallow waters, we will not be able to become experts. And there is a lot of difference between taking a leap like this and taking a leap like this. Absolutely yes. This, it is in a systematic manner. This, it is in a scientific manner. This is in an orderly taught manner. There is a sequence in which learning goes ahead. And if you want to become expert in swimming and master in your swimming practice, you have to know the science behind swimming. When there is systematic approach to any knowledge, there is science. It is called as science. So just by taking a leap, we will not be able to learn swimming. But that doesn't mean that if you just take a leap, only practice, only practicals, without theoretical knowledge, without online sessions, without connecting to our mentors, neither are we going to achieve anything of mastery. So what is required today? We require to understand the science behind a particular life-saving skill also, and we have to learn these science with the help of a mentor, maybe through an online session, maybe through few theoretical sessions, and after that, we have to take the leap in a right direction to become the master in that. So swimming has got science behind it. And we are not the first few people in this platform we were discussing. There are various authors. I have mentioned the authors over here. And if you can see, these are all pictures which I have taken. And observe one of the things in the characteristics of the presentation that, okay, I will ask you at the end what to observe, but these are pictures. These are not sentences. Okay, I've given you a clue there. So a scientist has given an equation for successful swimming. That means you don't have to just swim for speed. You also have to swim for saving energy. So with this, a swim time, mastering of the swim, and all these are there, which are nothing but the strokes that we take, the underwater time that we spend after we have taken the plunge, and all these things are there. Anyways, we are not here to discuss about how and why the science was adopted by Michael Phelps to become successful swimmer, but we are here to understand one concept. The take-home message is, even a life-saving skill which requires practical jumping into the waters does require some amount of science behind it, which can be taught by online or face-to-face mode. And if we do that, learn the theoretical concepts and then jump into the deep waters or shallow waters and after deep waters, we are going to become masters of it. Well, when the life-saving skill like swimming can beauty also have science behind it? Whatever be the race, Negroid, Mongoloid, or Caucasoid, beauty is something which lies in the eyes of the beholder. But what does the eyes of the beholder see to call somebody or something as beautiful? Is there any systematic approach to this knowledge or this feeling? And the answer is yes to that. There is geometry, there is physics, and there is definitive science behind beauty. And this has been given since long time, and they call this as a phi mask. They call this as a phi mask. This is a geometric representation of the equation for beauty. And it says different masks for handsomeness and different masks for beauty. And this is the equation for beauty. Even a feeling, what we have in our heart, can have science behind it and can have equation behind it. See, if the face confines to the proportions of this geometric phi mask, it is deemed to be beautiful. So how much closer you are to this geometry makes you more beautiful. So when a life science and when a life skill and emotion can have science, tell me, will the art of presentation not have science behind it? Definitely it has got science behind it. So the take home message of one thing is very sure. There is definite science. I will not be able to make you experts, just like you cannot learn swimming. You came out by yourself, right? You told that you cannot become experts in swimming by attending online lessons. So I will not be able to make you experts in a presentation with only online presentations, but definitely I will be able to show you the directions for systematic approach into presentation so that you can go there and practice and become a master once you have dived into the deeper seas of presentation, deeper oceans of presentations. So let's see what is the science behind presentation. And let us also see whether there is any equation for successful, impactful presentation so that you get the benefit of having the praise and also driving the knowledge. So you will get the recognition only when you have done your job. And the job here is to drive knowledge. Let's see what is the equation for this successful and impactful presentation. And if we are going to put down in a form of an equation, just like what we had for swimming and what we had for beauty, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the equation for successful and impactful presentation. Let me read it out for you. Take snapshots of your screens if you would want. This slide, if you remember the presentation, you will remember, right? What is this? I square m into root of m whole to the power of ERS plus log C. Where will you find it? It's an open challenge for you. There is a bounty full of information in the internet, and come out and search who has given this equation. And if you do not find anybody's name, my phone number can be shared by the organizers. I will explain more about it if you're interested. But let us start with, what is this equation? I square m into root of m whole to the power of ERS plus log C is equal to successful, impactful presentation. Driving of knowledge through presentation. How? Let us go one step back and then understand this equation. Few days back, we had such kind of presentation in an offline mode. We connected with people and look at them, how they're seated. Look at them, how wonderfully straight back and very concentrating on the presenter. That's me. And it's the same presentation going on there. And how with a lot of concentration there, a few people are noting down the points, what I'm trying to tell. And the attentiveness, the body posture, and This is perfect attentiveness, ideal attentiveness for a learning scenario. Believe me, you as a teacher, when you come to a class and you see students, or for that matter, if any student is presenting his project presentation and he sees that all the teachers are, sitting in a very relaxed state of mind. One of them is just having a leg on one of the other chairs adjacent to him. So will you be able to connect with him in an offline face-to-face mode? Definitely not. You will not expect that on an offline mode. You will expect attentiveness. But dear friends, this is online mode. Most of you will be like this. Some of you will have distractions in the middle of the presentations. You will have calls, you will have to attend those calls. Maybe you will have messages and you will feel tempted to see those messages. Distractions are there like this. And it is lunchtime now. Most of you, I think, will be doing multitasking. Some of you will be cooking along with your mobiles or your handheld devices, and you will be seeing this presentation because you want to know more about the presentation, the science of presentation, and want to become a successful presenter, whether be it a student or a teacher. Yes, presentation is going to be the next life important skill for your academic career. What? Why? Because for a student, the only way to say that he knows everything is through presentation, because he's connected to the teacher online mode. So student gets his recognition through online presentation. Project report presentations are going to be online in the online presentation mode. Recruitment of faculty is through online mode. Assessment of faculty is through online mode. Webinars and sharing of knowledge is through online mode. So everybody requires this. And at this present context, I'm not going to, well, why don't we do this small experiment? Here in this offline mode, everybody is connected. So everybody knows what everybody is doing. So there is peer interaction in the offline mode. Whereas in an online mode, all of you are there in your respective homes in different postures. So let us do a small experiment and try to understand each other. You will try to understand each other. So for this, I will do one thing, that I will share a link on the chat. So just open this link on the chat and make sure that, yes, all the panelists and attendees are going to get this. Click on this chat, link what I have sent, and come over and tell us, how are you people seated and seeing this presentation? Okay, and I will share the responses, whatever you are giving, live. Yes, I'm going to share it live for you, and you will be able to see your responses live on the screen as and when you give the responses, right? All right, there we go. So here I'm sharing your responses. Oh wow, all of you are very fast indeed. Let me see the responses and let me see the distribution of these responses. Right. So the question is, how are you people watching this presentation? What is your body posture when you're watching this presentation? All of you are listening in an ideally attentive body posture. All of you are listening with casually positioned and relaxed body posture because you are at home. So you have a couch and the couch is asking for you to come and relax. But the brain wants to learn. So in a relaxed posture, you are seeing it. And most of you, you're doing multitasking. Yes, wonderful. Thank you for being honest. And let's now understand what is the real life scenario for me, you, and each one of you when you want to connect to somebody on an online mode. Unless and until you understand the psychology of your participants, you will not be able to connect to them. How many of you could see the presenter when the previous presentations was going on? I could not see. And if you don't see a presenter, how will you connect? And moreover, even if you are seeing a presenter and you are having a lot of distractions, like your own representations are saying, see this red is the number of people, almost 50%, 42.3% of the people are in a relaxed body posture. And almost about 21.5% of the people, you are doing multitasking. That means there is a lot of distractions for you. Yes, it is time. That is time for lunch. You have to do it. Family is there along with you. So a lot of multitasking. I request all the panelists other than me to mute, because this is a live video feed. So if you do not mute, there is going to be shifting over of the video. I have not shared the screen. So fine, coming back to this, what do we understand from this? We understand a simple knowledge that you are facing a challenging situation wherein your participants are more so distracted. Your participants are more so distracted, and in that scenario, you have to hold them. So how are you going to hold them? How at all are you going to see? If you do not find your people connected to you, there are a lot of distractions, there are doing many more things. How are you going to connect to them? Are you going to ask them to come to an ideally attentive posture? No. Leave them to their posture. This situation is a change in the shift in the paradigm shift in the way things work. And we have to understand this. You go and search in every web. This is what is missing. And I felt this is the first thing that I should deal with you. Understanding the psychology of the presenter, the participant. So what you should do, you should have more of interactions. So the first part of the equation is I, which stands for interactive session. And the example of this I have already given to you. Though most of you were doing multitasking, though most of you were relaxed, and though most of you were having any other distraction other than this presentation, you took the survey and honestly you gave the feedback. That means in spite of all the distractions, you connected. So lesson number 1, take home message: have interactive sessions. And why is this I square? You have to double the number of interactions. Otherwise, in an offline mode, you would not have done so many interactions. You would not interact so much unless and until there is a flow or there is a break in flow because somebody has done a mischief, you would have interacted with them. Otherwise, you complete the flow of one particular sequence for teaching, and after that, you would interact with them. Or you would see a body language or a facial expression that somebody has not understood something, and then you would have interacted. But on an online mode, that is not the case. You have to have interactive sessions, just like what we had now. And in spite of all this distraction, participants will stay connected. Over. One bit of information is given. Now, let us go further. What are the tools for you to interact now? How are you going to interact now? Well, I told you that you have to interact, but how? These are the tools with which you can interact. I and we interacted with each other with a Google Forms. And you have got something called as Kahoot, you have got Zoom platform, and you have got Whiteboard. The Google gives you questionnaires and survey, just as we did. What is the percentage distribution of how things are? It helps you understand the ground reality. So you can do questionnaires and surveys with Google Forms. You can have a wonderful technology, gamification. New word for all of you? Yes, this is the current trend of interactiveness. What is it? It is gamification. What is gamification? It is quiz personified to make learning more adaptive. Adaptive learning? What is adaptive learning? Adaptive learning is making sure the concept is learned by the participant in a very liberal and easy, relaxed mode, because everybody is relaxed. So you do not anticipate attentiveness. In a relaxed state of mind, you push the knowledge, and this is what games do. So we use the concept of games and we convert the teaching and learning into gamification so that quizzes can be given with help of graphics, videos, interactive texts, and all these things can be pushed on a Kahoot platform to give a gamified version of interactiveness. So you will know how much they have understood, and they will also interact with you. That is a very good thing. Note it down. Take a screenshot of this. These are the tools. Experiment with them. You are going to be successful. This is very good. This is very professional. And then Zoom. You have got very own Zoom. We can have opinion polls inbuilt inside the Zoom. So with these opinion polls, you can stop there, launch the poll, get the results, show the results to everybody. So with this, you will be able to understand how much people have understood and how much people have connected. And you will also have this wonderful creative software called as Whiteboard. You know what is a whiteboard? Whiteboard is a free. All these are whatever I'm telling are free. Of course, yes, the paid versions are also there, but with the free version, you will be able to do what you want. That's sufficient enough for us. Well, that's not pirated, it's free. So all whatever I'm telling you in this presentation is totally free and open source softwares. Fine. What is Whiteboard? Oh, Whiteboard is an open source software which is going to prepare a whiteboard for you so that you can put a picture of an experiment, of a particular part of the human body for medical sciences, or a dissection photograph what you have taken. And where are you going to take the photographs? Your phone is the best camera today. How many megapixels? It runs in 3 digits now. So that is more than enough. You take a good photograph, ideal photograph with some common sense, and that can be used for teaching and learning scenario. And you post it on a whiteboard and you tell them, name the different structures which are seen. And at their houses, with their fingertips, in their devices, if they write with the fingertip, it appears on your whiteboard. So people are actually using their physical form of skill to interact with you. Whiteboard, very good software. So this is about how you are going to tools for interactive presentation. And how we did, we used Google Forms, and that's the example. Though distraction is there, staying connected is the mantra, and this is the way to go. That is why I square, double the amount of interactions, I square. Then let us move further. We have learned about I square now. Let us come to the second point. What is the second point? M. What does M stand for? Now, before we learn about M, let us see what this lockdown has done to us. Lockdown has made us develop a new relation. With whom have we developed the new relationship? Devices, smartphones. And the screen time, research say, has largely increased during this screen time, and this is posing risk for children. It is causing problems with the eye, and it is also causing problem with mental health in children. So everybody is glued to the screens, whether it be television screen, laptop screen, tablet PC, or mobile phone. Everybody is glued to the screen. The screen time has increased. But fine, does it mean that they will stay connected with you? Let us see the most of the research what has been done further. Further, it says that even though the screen time is increased, the retention time, that means a person does not stick to any particular site or a video or a web page, and the retention time is drastically reduced. If any video is less than 1 minute, then 70% of the people watch it completely. If it is more than 3 minutes, 50% of them, 60% of them are lost. So believe me, though they are glued to their screens, their retention time is drastically reduced. What does that mean? You have got just under 3 minutes to teach them lesson. Though they are glued for 8 hours and 10 hours a day, less than 3 minutes they will give you to learn the lesson. Look at the challenge behind you. And in this challenge, how do you think you are going to drive the matter home? How are you going to manage this time and drive the matter home? You will be, planning the sessions of timetables for 1 hour, 45 minutes. This is the second pragmatic change. First pragmatic change is expecting them to be ideally attentive. No, they have got distractions. We have to do the work in spite of that. Whether be it student or whether be it faculty, the presenter has to learn how to hold the audience in spite of distractions. Second, in spite of holding them, the amount of time in which you hold them is not more than 3 minutes, and you have to finish your job in 3 minutes. Does that mean that you have only classes for 3 minutes? No. Before we understand this, M, that stands for management of time, this is all in one bracket. I square M and M, root of M, is all in one bracket. Why? Because they are interdependent. Let us try to understand what is the square root of M, which will help us how to get this M, small m, management of time. So what is this root of capital M, the bigger M? This is nothing but breaking down macro content into micro concepts. This micro concept has been given a word. It is called as a nugget. Definitely not this chicken nugget. I have put this because it is lunchtime for you. Though I'm speaking, you can have, I'm vegetarian. People who are vegetarian need not have. Otherwise, other people who are non-vegetarians can have if it is available. Otherwise, stay connected, do your job, do no problem, but stay connected. And this is the mantra for online education or online presentation, whatever be it presentation, whether it's project or for an interview, or you have to not put bigger sentences. Just like we finished one concept, that is I, second concept, that is M, and the connectivity, we have come down to the third concept. There is a flow, but it is broken down into smaller concept, and there is interactiveness between each concept. We did that. In a similar way, you have to break down macro content into micro concepts. So let us try to understand this in a schematic representation. How to break macro concept into micro nuggets. We will hold the word nuggets, because nuggets means micro concepts. Each nugget is one concept. Imagine that this is the entire chapter which you are teaching the student. Big chapter. You're going to take 5 or 6 hours of teaching in a face-to-face mode. That is not going to happen in an online mode. How are you going to do it? Make sure that you devise smaller basic foundation concepts. Nuggets. We call this as smaller basic foundation concepts for that particular chapter. Identify them. And identify them and put it into one order. And there should be a sequence to it. That means one concept, when it is learned, should give connectivity to the next concept, and hence it should go like this. So there should be a flow. What are the things there? Identify the big chapter which you are going to attend, that is the outcome of the learning, overall outcome, the final outcome of learning, and break the outcomes into smaller objectives. This is the nuggets, and give them the order so that there is a flow in understanding the nuggets. each nugget, when you go ahead, there should be flow from one nugget to another nugget, and there should be connectivity. And once you have done this, start having interactiveness. The first part of equation, start having interactiveness after you have completed each nugget. Finish one nugget, have interaction, understand whether they have understood, and then come back to the next nugget. Then you will get a flow. Now, do you understand how to manage time with root of m? Yes. Let us get back to the equation and try to understand this entire thing. Root of m, root of 64 is 8. A bigger number, when we take square root, it becomes a smaller number. That is exactly what we are doing here, breaking the macro content root of m into micro concepts or nuggets. And once these micro concepts or nuggets are broken down, then we will be able to manage time. We will be able to give one small nugget only 5 to 10 minutes, just as I have done now. It is 20 minutes by the time I have started this presentation, and already I'm into the third part. First part, introduction, rest 5 minutes part, each of the point of equation. So exactly we have taken 5 minutes for each of the concept what we are teaching. Exactly same thing you have to do. Manage time with each of the nugget, and then between nuggets have interaction so that you have understood whether they have understood or not, and they feel refreshed when they come next. So they are connected only for 5 minutes. They are actually glued. Retention time is only for 5 minutes with your video or your online session. And then you have interactiveness, and again they come refreshed for the second concept. So breaking them into nuggets gives good knowledge delivery, and next component gives quality engagement, that is taking management of the time and taking smaller time bits, micro learning concepts is going to give you quality engagement, and then keeping them, doubling the interactive sessions is going to give you good audience retention. So have we achieved what is required in this equation? The first part of the equation, knowledge delivery, quality time engagement, and understanding the science of human mind retention to videos and online programs, and then good audience retention through interactiveness, the science of having knowledge, quality, and retention. Now, let us go to the next part. What do you see when you come for an online session? This part of a session, what I'm doing, when I am inside the session, I will have to dress up completely. I will have to dress up completely. Otherwise, when I'm seated like this, and most of us, when we are attending meeting, it is from here upwards that we will have to get ready. Yes. So there is a statutory warning that if you are using this particular part of presentation, what I'm going to teach you, you have to dress up completely. So with that, rest of the time, most of the time, we are going to see the faces of people. And when we see the faces of people, I remember this muscles of facial expression, which were taught to us during anatomy, learning of anatomy. And most of the time, please forgive me, whosoever slide, I have just picked it up from the internet. This is not my typing, it is a picture. I have not typed these sentences. This is the way that the PowerPoint used to be taught to us. And lucky or unlucky for us, at our time when we were learning, it was slide presentations. The transparencies, they were writing the transparencies, drawing on the transparencies, and they were putting it on the projector and teaching us. The entire A4 size transparency sheet is full of presentations. Will you be able to do these kind of presentations now? Then what will you do? How will you do it? And how many classes will you take in this kind of presentation? Let us answer all these questions with only one slide. Just watch this slide. I will take a break. I hope all of you are connected, because I'm staying silent. You have to get connected to this, and you have to tell me what. You can type in chat, what did you get out of this? And this video is 1 minute 9 seconds. Okay, we come to the end of it. And what is this? This is nothing but a small video of muscles of facial expression to tell us which muscle gives to what expression. And believe me, if you take a thinnest anatomy book, this muscles of facial expression is going to be 20-25 pages chapter. And it was 2 hours class on a face-to-face basis, which was taken for us to make us understand this. And it took a lot of time for us to understand this. And this video, what we just made, is just 1 minute video. And within 1 minute, all of you could understand that there is an expression. For every expression, there is a set of muscle or a muscle that is giving rise to the expression. And if you look into this video 3-4 times, definitely you will end up with at least 2 or 3 concepts. 1 minute, 1 minute, 9 seconds. If you are getting the concept, and before the day of the exam, if you give 1 minute, you will understand, because in pressure, we understand better. So you will be able to understand the expressions and the muscles of facial expressions which give rise to that particular expression. Of course, this is one nugget. That means we are giving the correlation between expression and muscles of facial expression. Further, like this, nuggets can be made for attachment and insertion of the muscles, how the muscles are supplied with nerves and blood vessels. And then with this, if you connect, it is going to be more than sufficient for your students or your participants. For students, there is participants. This way, you are going to maximize the effectiveness of your presentation. And what is this? This is the enrichment part of the equation. So what you are doing with interactiveness, time management, and breaking up of nuggets, you are putting all these things whole to the power of enrichment level. You are not putting sentences there in the PowerPoint. You are putting representations. You are putting videos, graphs, schematic representations, photographs, custom clip arts, infographics, smart arts. And where do you get all these things? Here. These are the tools which are available in your Android phone. And for videos, you can use Power Director, Filmora Go, KineMaster, Quick, Splice, and Adobe Premiere Clip. As I told you, the first of the few are free. However, even those which are paid, they give you certain options which are sufficiently enough for you to finish the job with the free app. So what you want for academic purposes, you will be able to do with only a trial app. Free limited resources, what it gives, it is more than enough for you to do this videographs, whatever I have done here. And this was done with my mobile. Next, how will you use the schematic representation, photographs, and custom clip arts? And what are the schematic representations? Schematic representations in the answer sheets, for understanding a concept, there will be line diagrams. So sometimes you write the line diagram flowchart, which is going to fetch you more marks. Why don't you give them? It is learning is going to be better. So how do you do this? You can do this with simple tools with your mobile. Again, Snapseed, PixArt, Pixlr, Aviary, Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, Prisma. And that poster, what you saw in the beginning of the presentation, it was made with these presentations only. It was made with these tools only. So with that, within 5 minutes, you can do the graphics, which can then be exported to the mail, incorporated in the PowerPoint. Done. Job wonderfully done. How much time have you spent? 5 minutes. That's all. And you can do all these things. Then going further, how will you get graphs, infographics, and smart arts? You use Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel gives you 3D graphical representations. So those students who are presenting your research findings, if you put results 10 pages, nobody will understand. Consolidate those results and give graphical distribution of your results across the parameter. Everybody is going to appreciate you. So what is it that you have to do? Organize the data, put it in Microsoft Excel, generate the graph, put it back into presentation. Simplistic way. Instead of putting text, put representation. Your job also will be simple. What you have to do in 10 slides, you will do in only 1 slide. And then PPT. PPT now is very, very dynamic. You can use infographics and smart arts inbuilt. And infographics are available on the web resources. Open resources are available now. So you can use them. Whether you want to get it paid, fine. Free versions are there. Per day 5 free you will get. You would want 1 infographic, right? So you get the free for that particular day and do it. The web is supporting sufficiently for you. So this is about E. You have to power this particular concept of interactiveness, time management, and minimizing the nuggets. Power them with enrichment with all these representations. Next, what is this R? N number of websites I have seen, and I did the research to understand what is the resources that is required today for our teaching learning scenario. None of the website told library books. None of the websites told. I feel there is no replacement for book. Our students ask, sir, exam is there next month. All the best, do well. Anyway, 3 years have passed. You have done very, very well. 1 more month is there, do well. And they will ask me which book to read. This is the toughest question and easiest answer. Every book is to be read. Have you ever found a bad book? Every book gives you knowledge. It's up to you how much knowledge you will take. So there is no bad book. Every book gives you knowledge, whether good knowledge or whether knowledge which is sufficient or not sufficient. At least that much knowledge it will give. So please tell your students, please listen to this. There is no replacement for book. The only resource, first resource, what you have to do is refer to books. How many teachers are referring to books nowadays while preparing presentation? Atma Vimarsha. Atma Nirbharta is there, no? Like that Atma Vimarsha. That I leave it to you for doing it. Online slide share is there. Copy paste is there. Control C, Control V is the most used platform nowadays. That command nowadays. No. If you want to learn swimming, you have to flap your hands by yourself. There is no shortcut. Similarly, if you want to make a good presentation, there is no shortcut in knowledge. If you take a shortcut in knowledge, if you don't refer to books yourself, if you don't read multitude of books, not just read subject books, even out of the subject books has to be read. For example, if you have to make a successful dental practitioner out of your student, you will have to teach them financial thing also, and which DCI does not give financial resource planning as a syllabus management. In fact, none of our schools teach what are taxes, how to save taxes. The moment you listen from me how to save taxes, you will think I'm doing something wrong and I'm cheating. I'm not telling escape taxes. I'm telling save taxes. How will you save taxes? There are so many government schemes. We do not know. Nobody has taught us. Financial planning is most important. Yesterday, Dr. Kishore sir told in his presentation that one of the three of the most important thing for well-being in today's world is staying happy and staying healthy and staying prosperous. What does prosperity mean? Prosperity directly or indirectly means your financial statement should be proper, adequate, if not booming. So teach them to read books. First important thing. We have forgotten that nowadays. That we have to learn in this era. Next, open and online learning resources are there. I told you, Control C, Control V, everybody know. Open and online learning resources are there and we get a lot of things from that. Then interactive text and interactive. What is this interactive text and interactive videos? This is the next generation of resources what you are going to generate. Previously, in the offline scenario, you used to give them notes. Our parents used to scold in the pre-university college if you get digest. If you get digest, we are the worst students. Like that, if you give notes, we are going to make the best students. No, worst students. So what we should do? We should bring about interactive text and interactive videos. What are these interactive text and interactive videos? Interactive text means there are embedded links inside your Word document. I am not teaching you to use a sophisticated software. Microsoft Word, everybody knows, simple. So use this Microsoft Word to prepare the software and your soft copy of things and embed links to the resources what you have yourself seen. How do you do that? Go to the address bar of the website, copy, and then paste it with a link and tell them if you want more resources on this, click on this link. You are actually giving a good citation and you are giving good respect to the author from whom you have taken. We cannot generate all the knowledge, but when we take the knowledge, we have to do proper citation. We have to do proper acknowledgement. In this way, in today's world, you are doing proper acknowledgement. That means you are giving the link to the particular site. You are not copy pasting his material. You are telling this is my material which you are giving with links to other authors' material. So researchers should be honest and it should have acknowledgement and good interactiveness. Link embedding inside Word, converting it to PDF makes your job simple. Like that, interactive videos. Interactive videos, it is going to require a workshop for us to do. If required, we will definitely plan. This interactive videos require certain softwares in which you are going to pause the video and you're going to click a particular part of the video and it will take you to the particular resources. Just like advertisements are going to come nowadays, you know, a lot of social media advertisements are there. If you like a particular 10 sets of dresses are displayed, the fifth dress you like, you click on that, it will get you more information about that dress and it will take you to the payment gateway straight away through purchase. So this way, interactive videos should be used. So this is all about ER, enriching and giving them honest, good resources. And S is nothing but having smart presentations. Now, before I talk about smart presentations, I have got a small question for you. And the small question now is going to pop up on your the chat box. And let me see how many of you can, you know, honestly give me the answer for this chat. It is a very interesting one. Well, to all the panelists and attendees, I am pasting this and come on, all of you, just log into that chat and then click on the link, and I will now show you what your responses are, right? I will show you what your responses are. And this got to do with what is the device that you are using today for connecting to this workshop. What is that software which you are using? Let us see what is the software all of you are using. What is the device all of you are using? And I see that most of you are connected with laptop and desktop, fine. Tablet PC, minimum of them. Most of you are connected with mobile phones. Look at that. And very few, I am surprised to see that laptop and desktop connected to a big screen. That means you are very professional and official. That's very good. Fine. So 69 to 70% of the people, you can see here, 69 to 70% of the people here are connected through mobiles. And rest of them are connected through tablet PCs, and very minimal percentage are connected through your laptop and big screens. Fine. This is the ground scenario, ground reality. But what did you understand this with this ground reality? Let us cancel this window and get back to our presentation. The ground reality is people are seeing you in a small screen. People are seeing you in a very, very small screen. 5 inch by 5 inch, 5.5 by 3 inch. And people are holding it and they are seeing you. Believe me, how many ever texts you use, how many ever points you make, how many ever keywords you underline, how many ever bold you make, will people be able to read whatever your point you're making with text points, 5-6 points, 6-7 points, not more than 5 points, giving space, highlighting the keywords, colorizing the, nothing is going to help them. Maximum they will listen to you if they have got the flow, and if you have got the interactivity and what I have told you like this, and if you have got material. And if you have got material, how will you project this material? You have to project this material in a very smart way. And this is an example where the presenter is inside the presentation. Most of the presentations, what I have seen in most of the webinars, we will not be able to see the presenter at all. So when you don't see the presenter, what is the question of connecting to the presenter? So use this. And what is the tool? All of you listen to this. This is the future of presentation. This is the example of smart presentation. What is it? Having the molecule in your hand and displaying to the people, participants in this particular way. A student might have discovered something new, might have done research which has got good findings. And if you put your findings in this particular way and put it in your presentation, one slide makes your story successful. Then, if you are a doctor and you are teaching them, if you are having this particular kind of presentations where body parts are being displayed in this particular way, this, ladies and gentlemen, is augmented reality, wherein you are interacting with the creatives, what you have tried to create yourself. And how have you created this? This is, first of all, open resource that is available. Second, you can create it with your mobile phones. We did a small experiment during my PhD presentation, wherein I was studying about the teeth, and I took the teeth into a particular position, magnification, everything, standardized it, and took the photographs of the teeth from all around and converted this using the mobile softwares into a GIF, graphic interface format. This was invented long back, but it lost because videos came. Now it is coming up again. GIF, graphic interface format. And by getting all these sequential pictures into one particular movement sequence, you will be able to generate animation. Very simple with your mobile devices, free of cost. And if you can do this with your mobile and have this augmented reality where you interact with your creatives, tell me, this is not the future of presentation or not? It is the future of presentation. And this is what I call smart presentation. You have to power this entire thing, I square m into root of m, with enriched material, resources which are honest and acknowledge the proper resources, and then give smart presentations which are no way near to the traditional presentations. And all of this you have to add with log C. Let us see what we have done till now. And this is the presentation which we have done till now. What is this we have done? Have we had any sentence anywhere, text box anywhere? Nowhere we have had text box. We have had only images, and we have had images which will represent what I'm talking. So in this way, your job also is reduced. And that is why this is called a smart work and smart presentation. Job is reduced. And your free picks are taken from the internet resources. Only thing is you have to sit and search for right images to connect the flow. And how will you get the flow? I will tell you in the last slide. That is equal to the beginning slide, but I'll still tell you in the last slide. So this, my dear friends, is smart presentation, wherein you are there within the presentation. Graphic arts are there within your presentation. You have converted your basic photographs into usable presentation items, and all you do is connect and represent. And if you observe, there are only two colors that I have used in the background, white and dark blue. Enough. There are no colors required, and I have not wasted my time on colors. Let us go further. And also, see, I have not used a single sentence, not a single sentence in the entire presentation. I have told you that I have copy pasted, it is not my typing. Somebody else has typed. I have given only example by copy pasting the image. So let us now put all these things together. Interactiveness doubled, time managed, macro content minimized, all these things presented with enriched format, with great resources, which is acknowledged rightfully, legally, and put in a format which is a smart presentation. And addition of this cannot be forgotten. This is nothing but an exponential scale of creativity. Log of C, exponential scale of creativity. Believe me, I don't have anything to tell about this slide. When I tell about creativity, sky is the limit. Only thing Dr. Avinash told you, when you are having confidence, make sure that you do not think about what other people think. If it is socially correct, morally, ethically, and legally correct, do it. You don't have to bother what other people think. And that is a rightful representation of creativity. And for this, sky is the limit. So now I wrap up this session, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for being with me for this equation. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Wait. I told you that I'm going to tell you something in the last slide. Well, picture abhi baki hai, mere dost. Just stick on. This lesson is one of the most important lesson with which I want to conclude. What is it? If you have given a wonderful presentation and the next day the person only remembers that it was wonderful, fascinating, and does not have any information about what information you gave, the presentation is failure. So how are you going to remember this? I will give you a mantra to remember this, with which you can remember this for n number of days if you are concentrating and attentive. So open up all your ears and then listen to me. What does this equation mean and how do you remember this? I means interactive, double the interaction. M means manage the time, minimize it and cover it in smaller nuggets, smaller sequences. Have macro learning concepts into micro learning nuggets. Present all these things with enriched representations. Give proper resources which are honest and acknowledging wherever is the source. Do smart PPT presentations. Don't have traditional PPTs. It is a sin to do traditional presentations from now on. Do smart presentations. Don't strain the participants' eyes by putting text. Represent it. And then creativity. Still, I square m into root of m whole power of ERS plus log C might be difficult for you to remember. So I will break this down as a mnemonic. I will take the first letters of everything and I will put it here. And it looks like IMMERS creativity. Something is missing. And that missing thing, Dr. Avinash told in the last presentation. And that is empathy. E stands for empathy. E stands for our efforts. We have to put our efforts. We have to understand our participants. And we have to walk that extra mile to connect to them. Connect with them. So let's have that extra E of empathy and efforts with them mentioned, and you will be able to remember what I told you for this entire 50 minutes with just 4 words. Immerse them with creativity. And this is a mnemonic for this equation. Where will you find this equation? I've already asked. If you ever find this equation anywhere, please call me. If you ever find this equation anywhere apart from this presentation, please call me. Otherwise, remember, successful presentation with this equation can be remembered with 4 words. Immerse them with creativity. Each letter standing for the equation components. Well, thank you so much. And that is the end of it. And I told you in the last slide, last message, you have to keep the end in mind. When you are preparing the presentation, you should have the complete picture of from where you will start, from where you will end. This is the first slide. This is the last slide. First slide is to end a traditional presentation, and the last slide tells you to keep the end in mind, have the big picture, and plan the entire blueprint of your presentation before you start the first slide. So with that, I thank you so much. And now it's over to our participants to come back to me with questions or any other interactions if they require. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for bringing us into the new era and for giving us a different point of view on things, for teaching us about newer technologies and applications. Your mantra, immerse them with creativity, is definitely a take-home message for us. On a lighter note, we noticed a very abnormal thing today, sir. The number of participants by the end of the session increased rather than decreasing, and the entire credibility of that goes to you, sir. Thank you for keeping us entertained and hooked on throughout the session. I now request the panelist speaker, Dr. Sri Shaila, to reflect you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. It was a great pleasure listening to Dr. Prashant. Thank you, Dr. Prashant. I think with Dr. Prashant, speaking is not just an art or science, it's really magic. So he usually creates, and even today, he has created wonders out of it. In this context, I remember Dr. Kushalappa sir describing Dr. Prashant as the wonder man of our college and university during inauguration. Very truly said, sir. Dr. Prashant, it is said that only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. So that doesn't hold good with Dr. Prashant. Any topic, any stage, online, offline, or timeline one, or it is extempo, on spot. Yes, there is no limit or no bar, or even for the kind of audience. He has the magic of beholding all with this mesmerizing speaking potential. So great appreciation to the organizers for choosing right person for the right topic. Thank you, the organizers. Now, as Elsa ma'am told in the morning, going little local for some effective communication. When we think of the word, in inverted commas, speaking, the first thing that comes to our mind is Basavanna and is Vachanagalu. Nudidare muttina haradantirabeko. So one of his Vachana is on speaking is eternal, all-time relevant, and so simply and beautifully expressed that it just doesn't speak only about the art and science, but also speaks about the spirit, empathy, experience, attention, equality, and the objectivity during speaking. So this can easily be extrapolated to public speaking. So coming to today's session, sir's presentation, the session was beautifully broken into small nuggets with very effective time management. And now when we usually ponder about public speaking, we just think of the science behind, means the neuromuscular activity, or maybe the microphones, the stage presentation, or the eye contact. But none of us may never think of equation, the two mathematical equation. So that is really very magnificent and applauding. So thank you very much, Dr. Prashant, for that effective equation. Hope all of you have taken the snapshot of it. And I really wonder if anybody found out the discoverer of it. If yes, please put a note in the chat box. And now coming to sir's equation. So it is, I think all of you remember it very well. That is I square small m into the square root of m to the whole power of ERS plus log C. Okay. So the session here, it means making the session very interactive, double the number of interactive sessions, and then coming to the small m. The small m, it means time management. So the retentive time should be very short. So as Dr. Prashant told, even I remember so many videos being left without watched in my mobile because the time is very long in those videos. So the retention time really matters. And then coming to the square root of M, that is breaking the macro concepts into the micro contents, which is highly essential with effective time management and giving a flow into each of these nuggets and keeping an interactive session between each of these small nuggets. It's a really very effective way of putting your presentations. And then E, that is using of enrichment materials in your presentation. And then coming to the R, that is effective use of various resources available. And then S, doing a very smart presentation, which we saw today by Dr. Prashant. And then the log C, that is the exponential scale of creativity. So sky is not a limit. Okay. So E with empathy in it at the end. So it was really a very wonderful presentation. So the take home mantra behind the successful, impactful presentation is the equation we learned today. So as we observed in today's presentation, the number of animations, fonts, there were no sentences at all. And even the colors were very minimal, just only the black and white. And so the take home message is keep your presentation as simple as possible. Rather, give emphasis to the depiction, representation, and correlation. So no sentence can be effective if it contains facts alone. So they should be image, logic, and the promises. So there are three things in public speaking. First, get into your subject, then to get your subject into yourself, and then lastly, to get your subject into the heart of your audience. So the take home message of today's talk is 5 simple words formulated into a simple equation, which none of us could have thought can be done like this. So remember the equation and be a successful presenter. So to conclude, the worst speech you will ever give will be far better than the one you never give. So it's time for all of us to start somewhere. So I thank the organizers for providing me an opportunity to be a reflection panelist. Thank you, organizers. So now moving on to the question and answer session. Before the session, a lot of acclaims and appraises and applauses to Dr. Prashant for his effective presentation. So Dr. Prashant, please accept it from our side.
Thank you so much, madam. And I'm indeed honored because it was with passion that I came over to this platform. And whenever I give my presentation, I think about how much can my participants be benefited. It's a passionate thing to see. Every student, when I see, I feel very happy when they have come out with something. Dr. Sumukh, I would like to tell here, he's doing such a wonderful job, and it makes me feel happy. A son should become better than a father. Student should become better than a teacher. Only then there is hope for future. Otherwise, we are not creating assets for a better future. So like that, if every participant can start using this with the tools what I have given, and I also request the organizers put this presentation. I don't think so presentation is complete without me inside. So put the video recording of this onto the platform and let it be shared to everybody so that we have a better future and we have a better tomorrow and promise of a better future, of course. Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you, sir. The work of Sumukh is really appreciated. And now, sir, moving on to the question answer session. There's a question from Mr. Mohan. Sir, what is the name of the platform you have used to make the presenter inside the presentation?
Yes, I did tell you about this particular thing. There are two platforms. One is Zoom itself. There is, when you share the screen, there is a box which appears which shows the open windows. And there is a tab also, advanced. So go and click that advanced tab. And when you click that advanced tab, it's going to give you the first option. It is in a beta phase of testing, which is using PowerPoint as background. So when you put this option, you will have to select the PowerPoint from the Windows File Explorer, not keep it open beforehand. So choose that particular PowerPoint which you want to give, and it will make the background transparent for you, and it will put the PowerPoint in the background for you. And this, in a simplest form, is going to put you inside the presentation. But now, after having said this, you will require some experimentation. Don't try this firsthand on the stage. That means when you are giving the presentation. Experiment with it. Somebody has asked here, as dentists, we are very poor in computing knowledge. Can you please tell which platform to learn this? Who am I? I am also a dentist. All dentists are not poor at computer knowledge. And today, you know what? Just like choosing what best channel to watch, just like choosing which best book to read, just like choosing how best to answer a question and get good marks, it is also an art now, required skill now, to choose which best software to experiment. Just like you read books, you must experiment with softwares. Softwares are free on the online platform, and all these softwares, whatever I've used, are free. So you should experiment them. Just going back to the previous question, I told about Zoom. Experiment with them. There is absolutely no requirement that you become the master in the first instance. Zoom can also be experimented in a free mode for 45 minutes with only you as a presenter in the platform. Only you will be there. With this, we also presented a video for a international conference of oral and maxillofacial implantology, which was held by the organizers were from Japan. So Southeast Asia and the South Asian region, they had this presentation. These all experiments can be done. Only you are there on the Zoom platform, presentation as a background, you are in the foreground, and you record and your video is done. How wonderful, how simple. And there is another software called as OBS Studio. OBS Studio, you need a good laptop for that. Otherwise, using this simple Zoom, you can do wonderful things. So that is two questions answered at a time, because they both were connected. There is no need for computer skill. You don't need to become an engineer. Experiment. The world is yours.
I think once you start experimenting, it will be like monkey game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Prashant. Now over to Dr. Dipasha.
Yes.
Can I answer one question which is there very quickly? Yes. To impart knowledge among students or common man, what would be the best time limit? As I told you, you cannot reduce the number of minutes to only 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but break down the concepts to 3 or 5 minutes such that micro time management can be done, nuggets can be given, and even though you're presenting for 20 minutes, not more than 15-20 minutes, you have given the knowledge what is required in smaller fragments. This is my answer to Dr. Maurya. Thank you, and over to you, Dr. Dipasha.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. We take it as a sign of privilege to have Dr. Prashant and Dr. Sri Shaila with us today for teaching us the art behind being a powerful presenter. We express a sign of gratitude to Dr. Prashant for being our speaker today by presenting him with a certificate. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dipasha, and I thank that I have received 113 responses for the survey and 17 all put together, more than 200 responses we have received. And the beauty is still people are responding. Even after the presentation is over, people are still responding. Thank you all the participants for the love and care and connectivity what you have given. Let's progress to a better future with this.
Thank you, sir. We would now like to express our gratitude to Dr. Sri Shaila by thanking her with the certificate. It was a pleasure to have you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We were delighted to have 4 amazing personalities who have excelled in various walks of life come together and educate us to be a better person. We thank you all wholeheartedly. I would now like to call Dr. Vidya, who was the observer for the day, to share a few points.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Dipasha. I would like to thank the organizing secretary, Dr. Ashwini ma'am, and her team also, and asked me to give a view on today's program. So in day-to-day life, in our profession, we are well versed with our subject. Out of our subject is never we went or never we learned also. But these series of webinars are unique, and one should know these topics because today's scenario is demands it. So I thank for all the speakers today who are all given, and they spoke very well also. So now I will enter by each session. So first one is time management from Dr. Chandrasekhar sir. He told what is time and its management skill, and about its advantage and adverse effect, and how we have to plan that time, and if there is any hurdle, whether it is a major or a minor, how you have to solve it. And he used one law, that Pareto's law, in that 80% rewards you will get it if you are doing a 20% of effort. And he also used, there is a Lee times flow chart also. So it was a great what he told today. And by this, I feel that topic was appropriated to him, and he is a very good management time as a vice principal and as well as a head of the department also. So, and by this we can come to know that if you are putting any target, finish within that time. So that is what the message he had given. So next is communication skill by Dr. Elsa Santomobi Devi. So she mentioned that whatever the communication skill is there, it should be understandable, and it should be a symbol or verbal or non-verbal. You have to use whether a single person or in a group person. So it should, and she mentioned what, how, why we need these communication skills. And she told about the role of this communication skill in a healthcare setup, as we are all there. And she shared her experience in this, in her clinical setup or a hospital setup. So she also mentioned that you should be a good speaker, not only as a good speaker, but also a good listener also. And you have to feel others' feelings, and you should be a good observer and as well as a humble also. And she gave 6 successful tips at the end, and that is how her take-home message was there from the Dr. Elsa. Next, we'll come to Dr. Avinash. He gave on the soft skill. What to say, Dr. Avinash? He's my batchmate, UG batchmate. I know him from 25 years. So he is soft in nature from that day and today also. And I feel topic was given for him appropriately, and he spoke very well also on that. And he told that you need 10 essential skills. That means he told empathy, emotional intelligence, teamwork, networking, time management, flexibility, adaptability, attitude, work ethics, community. So all 10 he told. But along with that, he used one syndrome that I liked it actually, good old day syndrome. So it is good, but at the same time, we have to change our attitude or our mindset. That was the ultimate take-home message. Then, and last but not the least, our own colleague, batchmate, I can tell, and young, energetic Dr. Prashant. And he is one who is like a give any presentation, and he gives like a rainbow-like or rich, elegant, more beautiful way of presentation. And we all saw today how was his presentation, and the topic was given to him was act. So what he gave today's mantra was there, no? I square m into square root of m whole square, whatever that formula, that equation, I can say it is Prashant's equation. I don't think so it is there anywhere in the textbook or a math textbook. So I feel what he wants to tell in that, if you know that just a knowledge or a topic of your own, it is not enough. You need to communicate to the audience and transmit that through a different various resources are there, tools are there. So you use that and teach them. That for that he gave an example, that successful swimming. So he took that as an example and he made it. So it was a concise and a good picture, whatever videos he had put, everything was damn good. So as we all are a dentist, so dentistry means art and science, that is what we will tell. So what I want to tell is art of presentation is Prashant. That is what I want to tell. So today he proved that he grabbed the whole audience today. And what I want to tell is, from the morning, we planned that we will bake the cake. Okay, we took all the ingredients, mixed it, and baked it, everything. But today's Prashant's presentation was like icing over the cake, like that it was. So at the end, what I would like to give a message and a take home message means time management, communication or a soft skill or art of presentation. All are life learning process. It never ends. So we should keep on learning. That is how I feel it. Now, I would like to tell thanks to all the team members and as well as our registrar, Dr. Kushalappa sir, and our principal, Dr. Ravindra sir, and organizing secretary, Dr. Ashwini ma'am, for everybody for giving me this opportunity to give my views over the webinar. Thank you very much. And it was a different. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your observational points.
Yes.
We would now like to present our token of appreciation with a certificate.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A gentle reminder to those of you who have not filled in the feedbacks, the link is present in the box. I would like you all to kindly fill it in. This will help us bring out a better webinar for you all the next time. Coming to the end of today's session, just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. Having said this, we come to the end of today's webinar, but not the series. We hope to see you tomorrow with the same zeal and enthusiasm as today. We thank everyone for participating with us with your kind attention and interaction. On a last note, I will be failing in my duties if I don't thank the Organizing Committee of Professional Excellence for giving me an opportunity to host you all today. Thank you. I conclude by hoping to see you all tomorrow. Stay home, stay safe. Dr. Chanchala?
Yeah, Dipasha, I'll take over.
Yes.
Thank you, Prashant, for such a wonderful session. And it was really nice. And we have got a very good feedback on those sessions. And I should also thank Sri Shaila for being the panelist. Thank you, Sri Shaila. And thanks, Vidya, for being the observer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Prashant, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you to all the organizers, panelists, and all the participants. And indeed, it was a very good experience. I hope all of you have enjoyed as much as I have passionately enjoyed giving the presentation. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Prashant. Thanks a lot.